violence isn't going away because there are millions of guns in circulation nationwide.
Millions of guns.
Millions of guns.
Millions of guns.
Millions of guns. It is a problem that all police departments are facing.
Welcome to It's Your Truth. Live your truth, baby. This is how we do it. Taibu Muad'Dib, straightening things out. Want to give you that flavor that y'all came for. It's the intro song. Like it or love it or hate it. How come they don't know? No one's life is the Cosby Show. Killer cops is nothing new to melanated people, bro. Not in America that locks us up for mega busting, legalized prostitution so the mob can get a cut. CIA agents bringing dope in from the south and spread it through the hood so we can take each other out. The sadness in the hood isn't just some recent shit. It's the same thing that you could see on a slave ship. Trauma passed through generations lead to a peculiar life. Can't believe in freedom even if one of your parents white. I'ma do it right cause I'm conscious and I know the way. I got roots in Africa. Pittsburgh was my birthing place. International businessman from inmate 15208. African Messiah, dog. Someone had to break the day. All you do is metaphors, the clubs and freaky whores, you know. Stacking lips and paper, flashy cars, and the big cigars. Don't you know what's where they coming after you? Well, all they got is cups up with it. Woo! Don't you know what's where they coming after you? Well, all they got, it starts out with the Congress, yeah. Them the folks who scheme and plot. Once they pass the law, issuing on it. Gotta get this right. Don't you know it's where they coming after you? Well, all they got, it starts out with the Congress, yeah. Them the folks who scheme and plot. Once they pass the law, it's on you and I to know what's up. And since we don't, that's how come the jails are jam-packed with us. I got my fist raised. Unity is in my heart no matter who you are. Come and live your truth, that's how it starts. Yeah, that's how it starts. I had to work my way through that, y'all. It be tough sometimes on a brother. All day off and still I had to rush because other people have stuff that they need to get done. A superhero's job is never done. Taibu Muad'Dib, I gotta give y'all the full measure. Y'all have to get that. I'm gonna unleash, I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste that and put that out there in the description so y'all can see how cold I'm going, how hard I'm going to get you to live your truth. It's Taibu Muad'Dib. You already know how I'm putting this thing down. I want this show to grow, so come and hang out with me. When you hear that sound, make sure you write it down. I went from alcohol to agua because it's good for me. It's good for you. Switch it up. Do something fresh this year. Got a great show for you. Want you guys to get involved. Hope you see the benefit in living your truth with me. Each night around 9:30, we jump off in here and get it popping. If you haven't jumped on here and lived your truth with us yet, look, all you have to do is drop a comment in the comment section on Instagram or streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, and I will bring you in. I just want to get everything that I can out of this episode tonight. Like the tagline says, I had opportunity, and I used it to save somebody's life, and then I hired him. All right. People around us every day, they are dealing with suicidal situations. You know it, and I know it. What we don't want is we don't want people to end up in a situation where they're having these suicidal thoughts and they're acting on them. So if someone comes to you and says they're depressed, hey man, look, lift them up, build them up, do whatever you can, because that could change their life. Do whatever you can. I just thank God that I've invested in myself and in my online coaching program, so that when this individual came to me, also, you know, congratulations to everybody out there that attends as a member of the Duncanville LA Fitness Health Club. You have a new GM. All right. His name is Taibu Muad'Dib. And I just want you guys to know that I will try to continue uh, the great service and follow righteously in the footsteps of the leadership I was given when I got there. But as they always say, new head coach, new culture. We will be making some changes there, not a lot, but just some ones in some key areas I believe will help the staff and the members, man, really have a better LA Fitness experience. Uh, Initially, I wanted to bring this show out on Monday. I wanted you guys to really understand suicide prevention is a big deal. All right. If you didn't know how big of a deal it was, we'll look at some of the statistics. Uh, but as it stands, there's so much. There's so much going on in the world today, and I know that You're a Mess was. It was more like um, it was more or less like, this is what you can do to have a better relationship. I believe that relationships in our homes they spill out into the community, and our communities reflect our relationships in our homes. If you don't agree, let me know. We can talk about it sometime. We can have just a show about that. But I'm standing on that. Our communities reflect our direct reflection of what's going on in our individual households. So uh, I got a couple of different definitions I want to give you guys tonight. And then beyond that, I want to discuss a little bit about what suicide prevention is. And we'll go from there as we screen share. If you want to be a guest on the show tonight, just drop a comment in the comment section and we will go from there. All right. If you know the signs, you know how to save a life. Get this information in you. Make sure that you are doing the right thing with folks. Everybody's trying to get money out here. It's crazy. Uh, but I want you guys to get it in your mind that we can actually do something real when it comes to suicide prevention and the like. I have no idea. I had my little typewriter here, but again, this is a fascinating story. Uh, on a fascinating story on how I was doing my job, because that's how it's going to happen, people. It's going to happen when you're in your regular, everyday, average, normal duties, doing things. Uh, uh, Sorry about that. Just got to get this out here for you guys. And again, if I can really get, if I can get, hmm, if I can get something on here, confirm that. All right. If I can just get something on here, will it let me? I don't even know if it even let me do what I gotta do. I just want to share this something, gun. So it's not letting me share it for some reason. I want to share it. I wanted to share it. It seemed to be a pretty decent little script. I wonder. I'm trying to figure out how I can get this thing to let me. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna play it for you guys organically then. I wanted to put it on my screen share. I think it'd be a good video because a lot of us are dealing with young people, and this person was a young person before I go into the story. And I'm trying to set this thing up the right way because I don't want to not give it its just due tonight, folks. When you see me doing stuff like this, like I have a very busy life, just like everybody else. So sometimes on this show, I'm preparing for the show. I know it shouldn't be like that. And when you guys actually subscribe, like, look, I spent one whole day messaging folks, hey, go over here, subscribe. It's just follow the link, like 2 clicks. Click on the link, click subscribe. Like in one person did. I had 85 subscribers. I had 86, but 10 people said they would. So you guys have got to subscribe to YouTube so I can start monetizing this whole demonstration, man, and build it. The movement's going to cost money, y'all. So just clicking that subscribe button will help me help more and more people. All right. Even if you don't like some of my views, everybody's viewpoints are welcome on my show. Even if you don't like my skin color, everybody's skin color is welcome on my show. I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all. Like, we don't have to have the same. Look, this guy, Graham Allen, I don't know if you guys know this guy. I don't share a lot of his point of views, but every once in a while, this European he says something that's spot on, right? So shout out to, and look, let's African people, let's just go ahead and do our own thing and build our own financial ecosystem. Let's create the Citizens Justice League for us, have our own new Africa here. Let's stop whining about how come we can't be like the Europeans and stop sweating them for being happy to be European in a European-dominated country that blesses them for being European. We can just go make our own, just go do our own thing. We have the education, we have the numbers, we have the, clearly we've had enough trauma. So let's go ahead and do our own thing and stop sweating about like Graham Allen for just being happy to be who they are, right? If the police are primarily protecting them, of course they're going to be Blue Lives Matter. They don't know what it's like for us. So, everybody has a voice on this platform. I'll guarantee, as the moderator, I will cut anybody off for being, rude, distasteful, messing up the vibe, killing the vibe. But if you're on here just being silly, I will shame you. All right. I've been shamed too. My cousins, they get at me. All right. So let's make sure that we cover all our bases. And then also all right. Let's look at some stuff. Let's look at some stuff and just get one more shot. Just want to talk about some of the things that connect. People don't just automatically go from being happy and healthy and minded to just I'm going to kill myself. Like, that's not how it goes. There's a process to that too. So we're going to discuss a little bit of that tonight as I go into my story. Fascinating story. You're all going to want to hear it. And then, of course, I'm going to share the scriptures with you that I believe stop suicidal thoughts and intentions for those who believe in God and say that they believe in God or know anything about the Bible. Even if you don't know about the Bible, it still is a good entry point to stopping suicide. So that's what it comes down to. Send that off and get right. Y'all on my phone and not on Instagram. Appreciate you. I got you. Don't even trip. Rocking everything from my iPad tonight, getting it moving. And so can I get this last thing on here? Want you guys to stick around, give you guys opportunity to get your popcorn ready, as my man would say. Man, Rob, he shot the video for me over the weekend. A lot of stuff is happening. I got a lot of stuff coming down the pike for y'all. You're going to be excited about it. bottom line, it is what it is. Okay. All right. Get that off. Just getting these things off to this so I can screen share them, knock them out the way, and we get up out of here. Happy to see y'all, man. If you're in the DFW area, you're snowed in, man. I hope that you bought your groceries and that you're not in the house hungry. That would be a bad deal. Hope you took care of business. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, there it is. And for everybody else that wants to get in, I'm gonna continue to send you guys as I see guys pop up here. I will go into my StreamYard. I will get the link, and I will invite some more guests. You guys know what it is. So as you guys jump on here, I'll use my iPad to go on here and invite you if you want to join me live. A lot of you have talked to me and said that you want to get in. So I'm gonna make sure that I make that available to you right now. Put it all together. Bam. There we go. So what I do is kind of complicated. A lot of folks that I'm into sales, and a lot of people that are into sales, it's kind of high pressure, unless you really like what you're doing or you're really just good at what you're doing. A lot of it's pretty high pressure. So what that means is I give myself over to my job. As I continue to impress the people up top in the corporation, and they continue to elevate me, I just want you all to know that helping people is what I do for a living. So, yeah, helping people is what I do for a living, and so I can get up for that. I can get up for that. I can, and so I study. I study what I'm supposed to study, and I get that done. Let's get some of this stuff out the way. All right. I got a bunch of stuff open on my computer. It's acting funny. Bam. There we go. So I study. I prepare. I want to do the best job that I can to make sure that I can help as many people as I can. And so what ends up happening is that what ends up happening is that so many folks come and they don't have a good grasp on what they're doing with their life, where they're going with their life. Well, I'm so thirsty tonight. Must be saying something. So I'm not uncomfortable talking about this story. I want you guys to hear it. It's just like, it's kind of like, let me just go through how it happened. So I'm sitting here and I'm getting ready to do my thing, right? Like what I do is I help and welcome people on to our programs, LA Fitness, who want to do something special with them, with their body type, their physical fitness, and so it's easy for me to do that. And so the person that sat in front of me was like, man, they knew what they wanted. And they were like, man, this is what it is. And my job entails getting to know the person at least on a deep enough level to where I can tap into what motivates them. And this person, even though they knew what they wanted, was admitting that they didn't have much motivation, that they were seeking knowledge. The more the conversation went on, the more I come to know that this person, was fighting off some situations in their personal life and that they were quite depressed. And you have to you have to know people and listen to people that have been through stuff. Even if you yourself have fought with it, you can kind of know when a person's sliding and they're just grasping for a lifeline, right? They want to have that lifeline. So I gently asked them, I say, do you know or believe in the Bible? Are you a Christian? And it's okay to ask these kind of questions in my line of work because, again, I'm trying to tap into what motivates individual. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, the person was like, yeah, I'm with that. And I'm like, okay, so why do you feel like, the way you're talking to you about you feeling? Because, the Bible really doesn't allow for depression or depressed thoughts. A lot of you might not have known this. I'm a Bible thumping type of saint. So, I'm just putting that out there. Shout out to the Ramp Church, Fort Worth, and all the other little ramps, but I happen to go to the hub. So, yeah, appreciate you guys. But yeah, so I'm like, that. And so it turned into like a Bible study, right? Almost, But I'm telling you that if you have a young person in your household and you're not talking to them about the word of God, then when they need to have that foundation when things get tough, it's like they need to have that foundation to where they know this is what God is saying. Like the one that created you, the one that made it really made it happen. This is what he's saying. Okay. So I'm going to just run through what these things look like, but I had to gently allow this person to make their own decision on what I was saying to them, what had value and what didn't. So if you think about it, what's more important than the word of God for somebody that is devoid of a real connection with the universe? Nothing. That's why they're sliding backwards. So I asked the person, I said, have you gotten to a point where you feel like you're doing everything that you can, but nothing's still working? I mean, you're still in the same situation. Like you feel like you're doing everything that you can. They're like, yeah. And this is why I'm telling y'all, this is why I've been doubling down. I shot the ad. I'm gonna get y'all to patreon.com, to the online coaching program, because so many people, young, old, otherwise, think that they're doing all that they can do. How many times have you heard somebody, I'm doing all I can in this, right? They're only saying that because we all have our limits. So when I hear a person, admit that they feel like they're doing all that they can and nothing's changing for them, I know what their limit is. It's not that you're limited, people. It's just that you limit yourself. You just stop trying. So I have to gently talk about their level of effort, right? So if a person tells me they believe in God, I'm gonna go here to the screen share. A person tells me they believe in God, and when they're going through something, they don't go to Him in prayer, but they don't go study the Word of God. Then, like, I know right then and there that their effort isn't commensurate to what it should be. Ah, yeah. So I'm gonna screen share this just so y'all can see it, and that's why y'all gotta come over here and join me on YouTube so I can get this screen share. I can hook y'all up. All right. So I had the person. I said, pull it up on your phone, right? Pull it up on your phone. Let's go. This is what I say. Pull it up on your phone. Let's see about it. Okay. And you know, he did. To his credit, he did. That's how I know how hungry he was for the word of God. How hungry he was to reconnect with, with a meaningful life, with a meaningful existence. So I said, and this is the only way I learned the Bible study. Don't let people mumble it by themselves. Tell them to read it out loud. That's how, because we believe that when two or more are gathered in his name, that he's in the presence, he's in the midst of us. Get them to read it out loud. Very first scripture says, so do not throw away your confidence. It will be richly rewarded. But being young as he was, you know what I'm saying? He just, blah, 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 blah. I said, oh, hold on. You can't read the Bible like that, young man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't read the Bible like that, young person. Let's go back. Take it slower. I want you to read it as slow as you possibly can, is to make it make sense, because we have to walk this thing down. I want to let you know that and these are my 4 favorite scriptures. Please, people, please have 4 favorite scriptures. We're going on live. I got you on my phone today. I shot you the link. If I didn't, just jump in and let me know. I'll shoot you the link to jump in here. These are the scriptures that stop suicidal thoughts. All right. So the Bible says in the book of Hebrews chapter 10, verse 35, it says, so do not throw away your confidence. It will be rich. Now, who don't want a rich reward? All right. Y'all tell me right now, who does not want a rich reward? I don't know any of you that doesn't want to be richly rewarded. So it starts out by letting you know, don't throw away your confidence in what? In him. Him, in his word. Don't throw away your confidence in what he has for you. Okay? Whatever he's purposed for you, don't throw away your confidence in it, because that's where your reward is going to come from. All right? That's what it comes down to. I don't know how I keep making this thing happen, but I don't want it to be on there. Get off of there. I don't want that at all. All right. Scale this down some. All right, there we go. Get him back up there. So the young man, he's like, wow, this is deep. I'm like, yeah, like, God is telling you, don't throw away your confidence. Even if you've reached your limit, don't stop being confident that he has a rich reward by you staying the course. All right. Let's go to the next scripture, right? And I hope y'all reading this with me. You need to persevere so that after you've done the will of God, you will receive what he has promised. What's going on here? All right. That's what we're discussing. After you've done the will of God, you will receive what he has promised. Now, if you have read anything in the Bible at all, you know God's promising you a lot. He's promising you peace, happiness, joy, life everlasting. What are we even discussing here? None of the stuff that you see on TV or on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, none of that stuff compares to what God's offering you. So I'm helping this young man out. I'm like, this is how I know it's y'all effort. It's the effort you're putting into being successful. It took me a long time. I was raised to be so unsuccessful and to live a crummy life because the people I was raised by were unsuccessful, living a crummy life. That was all I knew. And when I didn't want to live anymore, I had to seek knowledge. I had to add skills to myself, people, to make myself attractive to employers, to potential wives, whatever the case may be. If we continue to move down in this situation right here, it says, for in just a little while, he who is coming will come and will not delay. So for those of you who like want God to like help you with something, like for real, help you out of a jam or help you through something or carry you through a tough time, it's like, you can, in your mind, you think, oh, it's never going to end. This is never going to end. But it is. Everything ends. Everything changes. Everything morphs into something else. Right? If we know one thing about the world, the seasons change. Right? You're going through a season or a period of something, but his help, his blessing, him elevating you spiritually, it's on the way. It's not gonna wait. It says, and this is key. This is key. But my righteous one will live by faith, and I take no pleasure in the one who shrinks back. Aha! When you hear that sound, write it down. I wanted to get you guys this story because you could potentially say something or not say something. It could be the difference of someone living and dying. It can be the difference between someone living and dying. I appreciate you, man, out there. My man, Lava, I'm going to go ahead and pin that. That was a hot comment right there. I appreciate you, bro. All right, we got that pinned up there. Live Your Truth is a platform I'm developing to really get it out there. What is your truth? What is your truth? Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. What is your truth? I'm fully convinced that if we all tell the truth, we will come to find out that we have more in common than we have in differences. And then it's that common bonds that we can use to unify. I know I oversimplified it, but we can use those common threads to unify people. I used to come on here messy, and I used to talk about my personal relationship, and my personal relationship used to make it worse, right? So I had to learn to get that out the way before I hop on here, so I can give you guys what you guys need, right? All I do is motivate Taibu Muad'Dib. But this right here, this scripture right here is telling us all we need to know. Before you think about quitting today on yourself or on someone else, before you consider, tearing somebody down with your words, think about this right here. God is saying that those who are righteous will live by faith. Faith is what you cannot see, but again, it's there. I take no pleasure in the one who shrinks back. Pulling back, I don't think it's saying all the way being a quitter. I just think that, like it said in the upwards, it's like be confident, right? Don't lose your confidence. When I first started dating Shay, like I couldn't lose my confidence, man. I'm out here in the DFW. I fill out applications online. Like if you get with a temp agency, like it sounds glamorous. Oh, get a job tomorrow, but you be in there for an hour and a half filling out this and filling out that. Like an hour and a half sucks. It does. And I was always in these weird little rooms with all these little computers and people that was dressed like they was homeless behind the desk, placing you for jobs. Just being real. But I never belonged in those rooms. But yeah, I was in there for application. Oh yeah, I get my. I'll be at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'll be there. I was on it. I never threw away my confidence. Right. So that's what he's saying. When he say don't draw back, he's saying don't stop being confident. Right. It says now this is that group. I'm gonna use the word gang mentality. This is the type of Christian gang I belong to. This is law and policy right here. If you didn't know that, the Bible has real lit in it, that it's a Christian gang. This is lit right here, right? This is how we do it. It says, but we do not belong to those who shrink back, who fall back, who lose confidence and are destroyed, but of those who have faith and are saved. So as I was, I'm gonna stop screen sharing that. So as I was talking to this young person and I was leading them along this brief Bible study, just 4 verses that lets you know if you Christian, this is what it is. Bam. This is what it is. This is why it sticks inside me. Because if you've read the word of God, you know that Satan has demanded the right to test each and every one of us. Now, here's the thing. I'm not even the devil. I'm not the evil one. I'm not the, that guy. I'm not Lucifer. I'm not nothing like this. That's just not who I am. But if I was to play devil's advocate, if I was to be the one to test any of you, if I demanded the right to test any of you, you think I would test you? All right, Lava. I'm gonna let you on live for a second, bro. But I only go live, only go bring folks in onto the YouTube joint. When y'all having trouble with coming on live, I'll give y'all a shout out. My dude Lava, he's a good dude. So we're gonna see what he's talking about on the joint. Bam. Accept that. Bam. So I'm telling you all right now, man, it's not letting me do it. That's why you gotta do the stream, y'all, bro. See, my man Lava, he's saying that basically like it don't let him do his thing on the joint. Maybe it's helping. Try to get him in there. All right. My man had told me to tell folks to click the bold letters. So that's what it is. Click the bold letters when y'all trying to jump in here with me. Otherwise, it'll take you around the ringer. I'm all juiced up with y'all because I'm taking y'all somewhere tonight. So let's talk about the depression aspect. All right. And this right here is what, okay. My man, everybody, Lava Raheem.
What up, my man? Do you best? Do you best up? Good evening.
Glad to see you here tonight, man. Taibu Muad'Dib, man, my man, Lava from Instagram. How you feeling, man?
Oh man, I'm great, man. Hey, it's a blessing, peace and blessing. I'm
you're in
listening
that.
to you. I really just was trying to tell you that it wasn't working, but we good now. So
Oh, I'm glad, man. God's good, man. So are you in the DFW area? You snowed in?
no, I'm in Houston right now.
Oh, okay. That's shout out to Houston.
H Town. I mean, yes, sir.
When I come down there, fam, the first turkey leg is on you, the stuffed one. I'm talking about
Yeah,
macaroni and
turkey
cheese. You
leg
know what I'm
hut
talking about? Yeah, the macaroni and cheese. You know what I'm saying? The
for
stuffing.
sure.
Woo! Boy, that thing goes hard. If y'all don't know, you just don't know. Uh, Even down in Houston, folks are dealing with suicidal situations, man, depressions. Things can get tough.
Right.
What's your go to when you start feeling low or you start feeling challenged? What's your go to?
Um, I do music, so I pretty much just turn to music. I make me some music, or I kind of really just get to myself. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem just talking to people. I got a few what you call spiritual accountability partners and
Right,
things
right.
like that. So I have a few guys and women that are instrumental in my thought process. You know what I'm saying? If I feel like it need a little touch up, but it's not often that I feel down because I done been in some bad little ruts myself. You know what I mean? So, and I pretty much just let time take care of it. Whether it's a job loss, a family loss, a member loss, whatever. I've been through a lot, so you just keep on going, man. You got to know that like trials are only trials.
You bringing up a good point, bro. I mean, I hadn't even touched on that yet. So having a healthy mind, healthy enough mind, even though you're going through something to help someone else, that's huge. So my story tonight, I'm just saying my story tonight, I'm telling you, I was doing my job and someone
Right.
sat in front of me and I could tell that, it was that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Like I just
Yeah.
had that feeling like, man, I have to do or say something right now. Like it could all be on me. I
Right.
represent. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I just was like, man, let me ask the guy a couple of questions just to see, how I can connect him, if I can motivate him, where is his vibe at? And
Correct.
when he said he was a Christian, he believed in Jesus Christ, that was personal savior. I'm like, oh, well, I got this, you know. So I shot him to Hebrews 10, 35 and 39. I don't know if you're familiar with those scriptures, but you can see, I'm kind of joking a little bit, but you can see to me, that's Bible lit. This is who we are. This is what we stand on. You can't even kick it with us if you ain't down with 3, 4 scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
this is the standard for the Christian life, right? I mean, it's not judgmental. It doesn't tell you what sexuality to be. None of that doesn't do it. None of that stuff. Doesn't talk about drinking wine or smoking weed. None of that stuff. This is just saying, if you take your eyes off the prize, you're not one of us. Matter of fact, I took it down, but you heard me read them off, right?
Right.
Okay. So right now I'm gonna screen share. This is a little piece on depression because people, if folks even talk about being depressed, get at them. Like do what you can, right? Because that's the process. That's the process that begins a person to considering maybe they should end it all, right? Because people commit suicide because they're tired. And they could be tired of living bad, living wrong, or just tired of trying to fight for life, period. Like they just get tired. And not very often do we come in contact with someone personally. We hear about it through the grapevine. So and so committed suicide. It's kind of usually removed from us. No one in my family that I know of personally committed suicide, right?
Okay.
I don't know if that's the same for you, but usually it's like somebody at school, somebody in the community, like, oh, that's whatever, you know what I mean? But it's happening. Uh Returning servicemen and women, it's happening. if you come across somebody that exhibits these characteristics and you know, it's like talking depression, you have just do what you can. Do something, do what you can. That's why I gave y'all those 4 scriptures. This is a Christian-based country, they say anyway, but that's a good go-to. I'm giving y'all a go-to just to fall back on. Hey, if you're a Christian, get off that right now. These 4 scriptures, this is what we stand for. You know, all right. Coping strategies if you're feeling depressed. Stay in touch, don't withdraw from life. So Lava, it was good for you to talk about having accountability partners at church or whatever your program you go through. That's real. I applaud that. Everybody get down with staying in touch with people. Be more active. Take up some forms of exercise. Clearly, I agree with that. I'll pump you up. All right. It says, face your fears. Don't avoid the things you find difficult. That's a toughie for people who are already feeling low, but we'll get back to that. Don't drink too much alcohol. For some people, alcohol can become a problem. Try to eat a healthy diet and have a routine. This last one right here, if you're in a tough relationship, I'm going to tell you right now, talk to your partner about establishing a routine. If it's one thing that I believe has helped change, you know, my relationship for the better when we were going through a struggle, was this. I talked to her. I said, man, look, let's establish a routine, something that we can both kind of, you know what I'm saying, depend on at home and when we're out and about. Let's have a routine. So try to establish a routine because that's one of the better ways. Is something on here that you see you vibing with some of this stuff or not? Talk to us.
I think that like I have a nephew. I have friends, like 2 best friends that killed that committed suicide.
Really?
I have so it's not only attempts in my family, but I've had friends that were successful from way when I was like 8 years old. My friend was like 12 and killed himself in front of his dad. So I know about suicide, and I studied psychology. So
Okay.
just over the years, doing a lot of reading on the brain and, you know, different things. So naturally, I believe suicidal people, they have detach themselves from God. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, because when you're attached to God, you understand that, you know, you are a creation and not creator. You know what I'm saying? You are creation and not destructor. So for one to understand what love is and what God put, the type of love it costs to make your body, it doesn't matter the struggle on this earth. Like once you're capable of understanding life, it takes away a lot, because want is the reason why a lot of people kill themselves. They want better. They want this. They want that. When they should really just be humble and be grateful. Like I heard, this is something you know, just because he's a comic, I've heard it many times, but Mike Epps just reiterated something that says, if God told everybody to throw their problems down, you know what I'm saying? And everybody threw their problems down. And then God said, pick them up. And people start picking up each other's problems. You know what I'm saying? It says that, hey, you're going to figure out that your problems wasn't that bad after a while.
That's well said. That's well said. I believe not just that, but I believe that it could be something a lot bigger, right? I believe that because what you said is true. The young person said that that was kind of how it started. Like I said, people think I've been doing all this stuff and nothing's changing. And then the attack on these young people's minds is they have such access. Like when I was young, only a couple of people had money. Only a couple of people were superstars. Now you got 8, 9, 10-year-old YouTube millionaires, right? So these kids from a young age, poor and destitute, and they just think that this little kid has it easy. Look, he's not doing nothing. He's getting paid. You know what I'm saying? So it's doubling down on the false reality that you don't have to work for money, that you don't have to work to make it big, that you don't have to work hard and perfect your craft to get that kind of love. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like usually I get like up to 4 to 6 eyes and stuff like that on my little, YouTube stream, my Facebook thing. And getting views for me isn't why I do this show. Because a brother like you, or a sister like the young lady that came on last night that was single, I'm doing the matchmaking thing this year. So we're gonna get to that in a minute. But I think that the counseling thing, I'm definitely gonna be counseling some folks in relationships online. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But I had a brother come on here. He was like, "Man, look, ain't nobody else talking about nothing, Ty. But you out here keeping it real. The other relationship podcasts, they ain't on nothing in my UMS days." He said, "I'm going through something." Like for me, I felt like the first 160 some episodes, they didn't mean nothing. This one right here was for this man right here because we don't know what he's going through. But he said he had been listening to my podcast to help him get over some things. So erroneous thinking has to be, like you were just saying, key to people going down that far. Now, myself personally, I have been in and out of jails up until recently, since I was like a kid, since I was 11, 12 years old. Lockups, juvenile facilities. I have been going to jail on and off for a long time. People don't get that vibe from me now because I'm conscious. But I did used to live that kind of life where I didn't care about going to jail. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And, a couple of times I had these types of thoughts, right? What do you say? I just felt like, man, I'm going so hard. I'm a decent person. Why is all this bad stuff happening to me? You get what I mean? And so that's why I say talking about this tonight's a big deal, because if you're depressed, you're thinking about committing suicide, like don't point the finger so easily at life. Take control, set a plan, and if you need help planning, I have a coaching program online for that. If you need help setting that, that's the whole key. Like people that commit suicide, they just gave up trying to make a plan to get themselves to a better place in their relationship, in their community, whatever at their job, whatever the case may be. But you and I both know that it's a terrible tragedy when we lose somebody to just flat out giving up on life. You know what I mean? That has to be really, really tough. What do you want to say to someone right now if they're watching the show and they're so depressed that they're considering taking their own life? Since you have personal experience with that.
I believe that first, like I said, you have to seek God. Like if you don't seek God, then, and I mean that in probably the smallest sense. I don't literally mean go to the Quran, Bible, this or that. But if that helps you, cool. But I believe like it comes with looking around you. Like you have to look around you and say, what is this? What is that? Like, and really start to understand that life isn't that difficult. We make it difficult. Like if you are, if you're in a mind frame of a suicidal thought, I think initially the first thing you should think about is yourself. You should think about yourself. Like this, if my thoughts are suicide and I want to leave here, and I don't know where I'm going, or what'll happen after this, after I do this, and how people will mourn for me. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't going to help your standings. Like, you have to be a thinker. You got to stop and think and say, will this help me? You know what I'm saying? Help myself, or will it just hurt other people and, end me? You have no legacy there. So you don't want to do that at all. Like anybody want to commit suicide, you just have to tell yourself, you know what? No, I'm going to take it a day at a time, the best, a minute at a time. And I'm going to survive for one more minute, because like I say for my nephew, you know what I'm saying? And I will speak as if I was speaking to him like, we're not quitters. Like you don't quit. You find adaptive ways. And if it's money, whatever it is, there's nothing in the world that is more important than you. So you have to think to yourself, I'm important. And if I'm not doing important things, then just breathing for the rest of the day is important, because tomorrow I have a chance at something better. You know what I'm saying? So me myself, I would say, just sit with yourself and get away all the negative thoughts, sage, whatever you got to do to get the spirit, because I believe it's an inner battle. We call that jihad. We call it an inner struggle. So we struggle with ourselves. Suicidal individuals, they have a mental block that's keeping them from seeing all the positive that's ahead of them. So they see negative things. They're not seeing enough positive. Like when you say they're giving up, it's because they're not seeing enough what they call positive things. You know what I'm saying? Or they don't know how to turn a negative into a positive. Like a person that gets shot, you can go kill 1 billion people after you get shot, or you can get shot and see, something different and say, hey, you know what? I could turn a leaf and start talking to people about being shot and how to stay out of the certain situations, how to speak, be, more eloquent in your approach toward others, things of that nature. So it could be like, say it's social, say, somebody on social media bashes you or something. Hey man, you suck, whatever. And you go home and you want to say, you're like, well, I really do suck. There's a mental thing right there where people have to say, hey, I'm worth it. I'm worth one more day. So we only want to get as a suicidal person to the next day. Once I get to the next day, I'll say, hey, what did I accomplish tomorrow? I accomplished life again. So
You
so
know,
to
it's important to note that everything that you said was like motivational speaking. And so we need more motivational speakers. We need more people to get out there, start platforms to motivate. All right. So, spend a little bit of time dropping, 30-second, 1 minute, whatever you can, and just get that out there, because people need to hear that. They need to know that. They need to be brought in to that type of vibe sometimes in the day. You never know who is watching or who is listening. When I drop the reels and I do stuff like that, I make sure that I take my time, and try to slow down long enough to give that kind of motivation to people. We need more motivational speakers, Lava. You just don't understand. We need
Oh no,
people.
I know. I've been part of a big group of motivation. Like I got the stuff right here. Yeah, I got John Maxwell books and stuff. A friend of mine, he's actually one of the right hand man of John Maxwell as we speak, Twan Nugent. So uh, and
Let's make sure that before we leave this, stay in touch, be more active, face your fears, don't drink too much, eat healthy, and have a routine. Those are the things that it says to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, people. And these are just really small tidbits of the tip of the iceberg. You have to give yourself a chance. I'm none. I can't say enough about that. You have to give yourself a chance. All right. So
thanks.
I'm I'm gonna go right into this so we can get on to the next thing. But I just want to make sure that I give this its just due. We're gonna look now at flat out suicide prevention and the definition of it. All right. So it says what does suicide prevention mean? For all of you that didn't know, suicide prevention is a collection of efforts to reduce the risk of suicide. Suicide is often preventable, and the efforts to prevent it may occur at the individual, relationship, community, and society level. All right. So now
Yeah.
let's look at how is it prevented. Preventing suicide requires strategy at all levels of society. This includes prevention and protective strategies for individuals, families, and communities. Everyone can help prevent suicide by learning the warning signs, promoting prevention and resilience, and a commitment to social change. Sorry, I started over that because the word was kind of not supposed to be there, like committing versus committed, like it threw me off. But I just want to say, it, it seems like a common theme. Uh, when you're down and you're not out, but you're down. What could be the seduction? I mean, we're just always me and you. You know, we're just guys. We're regular guys. But what can the seduction be to do something to where you don't have any more choices or options after that? Like, you know, what's the seduction to just really, get it over with, you know?
You mean so you mean what entices someone to what it you by that you mean what is the driving force to
Yeah,
make them do
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Well, like I say, it has to, like I say, some of the time, like to be insecure is something in America that is, it's affected. Like I say, the social sites, like there's so much garbage and jargon out there, bro. Like I'm telling you, man, people, before they'll tell you something good, they'll tell you something about yourself bad. You can be as positive as possible. Like you say, you're doing something positive. How many people come to your positive platform? But if you put a girl on here shaking her butt or a guy on here popping it, you probably get way more views. And that's because not only is the algorithms based off of toxicity, they want to see something bad. They want to see something that's gruesome. You get more views off of somebody getting killed on the street corner and somebody going viral showing it. They care less about human life. So therefore, like the thing that drives people toward it is negativity, like the negativity around them, because there's not a lot of positive things going on. It attracts negative thoughts. And like I say, like social media, all those things, they play a part in a lot of people being enticed to even think about suicide. Picture this, and I'm gonna use this just for instance. Say murder, right? We're just gonna use murder, not suicide. We're gonna use murder. Someone who's murdered and they were enticed to murder someone. Someone may say we're using enticement, like same thing you're saying. Your subconscious over time sees a lot of things and it digests a lot of things without you knowing. So if you were watching horror movies as a kid and you like action movies or whatever, it desensitizes you to death, right? Over time. If you watch Chucky, then you watch Dracula, and then you watch Freddy Krueger, and then you watch Michael Myers, you know what I'm saying? Then you watch Scream. Now you are immune to people getting killed.
When you know what I'm saying? So write it down.
Right. So suicidal people, how do they know about suicide? How do they know that a cure to their problem is to kill themselves? If nobody around them or nobody in the world ever committed suicide before. How do they know about suicide? A lot of people, whether you know it or not, statistics show it though, they research suicide. You know what I'm saying? And they usually try to get an outlet to why, like the guy you're talking about, like wants to talk to somebody about suicide. So it's not that they just do it on a whim. They research it and they end up coming in contact with people. And the sad part is that, like, a lot of the times it's still to no avail.
Parents, suicide chat rooms, the whole deal. Yeah, I had one of mine was involved in something like that. I know God blessed me. I got out like just in time. to catch him. I caught one of mine on a suicide chat room. Like, you know what I'm saying? Get that low. And it's just, like I'm telling you, like, just to know, like, I mean, you can't even travel your mind down that path. So people who have lost children, and I mean, I'm still alive, my children are still alive, so I'm not saying that I'm immune to it. I'm just saying, but that for people who have lost children, like that weight and that burden, like the seduction to follow them or go with them or be with them, like these are things that we all struggle with. Me personally, uh, I agree a lot with so much what you're saying, but I think the seduction is to just stay down. When we get knocked down, when life knocks us down or gives us a setback, that seduction is just to stay down. So, picking somebody up, everybody, picking somebody up with your words, with your actions, paying it forward, like you're right. Because ever since I saw that little movie where they were paying it forward and, a couple folks did it to me, I do it now, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about making me feel good. I just do it because I know it's blessing the community that I live in. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
I'm telling you, I had come into a little bit of money one time, couple thousands. It wasn't like it was no big deal. But I went to the store and it was a young man. Kind of reminded me of me going to the store with a little bit of change. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know the move was you go to the store, a little bit of change in
Yeah.
your pocket. You know what I'm talking about. Like your first time going to the store, a little bit of change in your pocket. You know what I mean? So he was in front of me. It was just me and him in the store.
Right.
Uh, I said to the Arab guy, I said, I got his. But I said it loud enough for little homie to hear it. And it was touching almost to I get teary eyed thinking about it. Y'all shut up. It gets me because little homie, he still has money out and he was confused. Because the Arab guy was like, go ahead, you're good, go ahead. He tried to push the stuff to him. So the little guy shook it off. He started counting his little money again.
Yeah.
It was touch. You feel what I'm saying, Lob? It was touching that this young man never had an act of kindness showed to him like that. You
Right.
feel me?
Correct.
So you're right. If we're not seeing so much murder, death, kill on online, and it's not algorithms are, and I didn't even realize that, but you probably own to something. The algorithms favor that type of nonsense. That's why it goes viral versus something positive like live your truth. I get that. Man, that's deep. But yeah, little homie, he he wasn't turning it down. It's just he couldn't compute that somebody was being kind from a complete stranger would say, "Put your money away. It's no good here." You know what I'm saying? And it it was a couple of ladies, a couple of older sisters, man, at the Whataburger, and I'm seeing her say, "Oh, it's too much." Oh, you said, okay, like they was trying to figure it out, right? Had just enough for one of the meals, not the other one. So I was like, man, I got it. They looked at me like, you know, people, kindness is such a small thing in the world these days, Lava, that if you try to show someone kindness, they almost looking at you like, you finna say psych, I mean, it's just crazy, bro. We are not kind enough to each other as a people. Like, I dress nice. I have a decent career now. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot different when they actually look at me. But I'm not saying, fellas, if you like to wear your pants sagging down, and show your drawers and stuff like that, I'm not saying don't be kind. I'm just saying it makes it a lot easier for them to accept the kindness from a person that's well dressed and sharp. You know what I mean? I guess. You know. Uh doesn't feel so like there's game behind it. You feel me? But I'm telling you right now, people, my man Lava's on to something. We have to reverse it and be more kind to each other, because you never know, that might change somebody's life, forever. I'll give you a real quick story one time, man, and I'll get us on to the relationship tip part. We get off into what you got going on, but yeah, I was locked up one time. I was on probation violation, whole whatever, whatnot, and I was going crazy. And I was like, y'all can't have me on probation. I'm not on probation no more. Like Wisconsin would do you, like the criminal judicial system. There's no justice in it. It will do you. So they had me in here. I'm going nuts in the jail. So they put me over into this little medical ward. Like, we gotta calm him down. We gotta get him out the way. And I was next to a guy. They gave me my court paperwork, and in my paperwork, it was like the judge was like, he doesn't have to be in probation no more. He owes his money because the laws had changed. So all he owes is the money. So we'll get it done. But he doesn't have to do any more jail time. The judge's words on trial transcript says he doesn't have to do any more jail time. That's what it says on the paperwork. But they got me in there on probation violation on a PO hold. It was crazy. So the day before they brought my stuff down, it took me all night. It was the guy across from me. He had made his mind up. He was finna kill himself. But when they put me in there the night before, this little different medical ward, whatever, I was in there going so crazy. I was entertaining him. You know what I'm saying? Because I was in there militant, like, y'all finna let me out. Oh, y'all gonna lose y'all jobs. He was in there like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, yeah, get him, brother, So we talked or whatever, whatnot. They bring the paper down the next day. I was like, man, I've been here for 4 months telling them this. I wonder how come it went that long. Like, why would God let me do something like that? He was like, man, you ain't noticed, but I was going to kill myself last night. I was like, what? Man, you was turned up with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you talking about? You keeping it cracking in here with me. He was like, yeah, I had decided. So we just never really know, just by being ourselves, bro, how it affects somebody else. And Fool meant that too. He showed me the little fake news and everything through the chuck hole. You know what I'm saying? Like, Fan had made his mind up. You know what I mean? It was going down. So I'm telling you, man, like, we have to be more kind to people, no matter where we meet them at, man. Be yourself and give God. All right. So that being said, we've given you what y'all needed to see on suicide prevention. It's a serious matter. My man Lava said, you don't know who it's going to affect, who's going to touch. Be kinder to people, man, because there's so much negativity out there. We have to be kind to people. All right, my man. This is a whole new thing. So you're out there in Houston. We don't know what's going on down there in Houston weather-wise. I mean, y'all not snowed in. Y'all went to work today. What was that like?
Things of that nature. Got the you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, start over because we ain't hear
got
none
the
of
whole
that.
setup. No, I
Oh,
said that's the
okay.
that's indoors.
It's
Shirts
always
and
work. Okay. So you got,
yeah,
I
man,
mean, show
trying
us
to
some of that stuff, bro. This we promote here. I'm always looking for sponsors for this show. We promote, man. It doesn't take much to be a
Oh yeah,
sponsor.
well, I
We
got
get you in here.
they up there. But my partner, we got all type of stuff like this. This hoodie right here. This is a Let's Get It hoodie. My partner actually made this one.
Okay.
It say Let's Get It. Got
Wow, press it
the
right in the factory.
my boy, he do the embroidery. This Let's Get It clothing with the lion head. All that. We got this right here. It say let's do work
If
on
you a
this one.
Leo, you need to have that lion head stuff, everybody. If you a Leo, get that Let's Get It wear. Let's go.
Let me see. My boy did that. That's finally here. That ain't finished. Yeah, but we got some more little shirts and stuff I done put up in the closet. But mostly I just do fashion clothing. So most of the stuff have fashion. They can go on fashion on Instagram, see like the women clothes and stuff I make. Bras, things of that nature.
Man, look. That's why I rock with Texas, man. Like, Texas, all the entrepreneurial stuff in the world is going on down here, man. If y'all, I don't know where y'all at, what's going on with y'all at, man. But Everyone, as soon as I got down here, it was like zing. I was like, yeah, this is for me. Everybody down here, man, get their hand in something, man. Shout out to you for being an entrepreneur and building your business. All the ladies watching this show and that's gonna watch this show because it goes like 50 between 50 and 70 views in the next couple of days. They're all gonna want to know what your relationship status is.
I'm single. But I'm staying single. I said I'm single. I'm staying single.
Oh, you waiting on Mrs. Right, huh?
Not necessarily Mrs. Right, but I'm not the person chasing I'm not chasing titles and things like that. I'm just, I'm pretty much just trying to focus on like the major keys of life. You know what I'm saying? Like I believe that friendship is more key than trying to find somebody. Like there's enough people in my life influential and things like that, women and men. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to pressure no relationships and yeah. I think I ran across enough great women in my span. You know what I'm saying? I'm 30, 35. I'm finna be 36. Like I ran across enough women in my lifetime to know that like it's really us, man. It's really us or each person. Like each person, I believe we quit too early. So if I wanted to be in a relationship, my last one would have worked just fine. You know what I mean? Like
No,
honestly,
I
it
don't know
was
what you mean. What you talking about?
well,
It would be just fine. You
well
ran or she
because
ran
each
or both of y'all ran. What you talking about?
no, I'm just saying that if I wanted to be with somebody in the sense of uh what people see in relationship or as marriage, toward going toward marriage, okay, we try to start as friends. Most relationships now don't start as friends. They go from a quick little dating phase and then go into a relationship, start living together, blah blah blah. There's really no true friendship there and real true loyalty and care first. It comes with infatuation, like then infatuation. So, if we pull out infatuation, a lot of times people don't want to be around that person. If we pull sex out, a lot of people don't want to be with that person. So, me myself, I just don't chase. I'm just not chasing like a person could come on here, she could be beautiful, this, that. But if I'm not willing to stick it out with the last person and their one flaw, how could I move to a next person with their one flaw? Basically, what I'm saying that would be something I would have to deal with. I have to be a person that takes people's flaws and I'm okay with them because a person that doesn't see people flaws as something that can be cured or something that they can deal with, they'll never be with anybody. You get what I'm saying? It's just it's like an ongoing cycle. Being single is an ongoing cycle unless you decide yourself, I'm gonna give a person 100% of myself and whatever they do, I'm only gonna try to aid in it in a positive way. And what I mean by that is, say I get with the woman, she's perfect, and she cheats one time. Well, that may be my draw to say that's it. When in actuality, it just may be her one mistake, and I can give her another chance, but that has to be in my character. You know what I'm saying? I can quickly just say, hey, I don't want to be with you. Or I can do the old school because in the old school relationship, they went through a whole lot before they gave up. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna put it this way. 50 Cent said this. He said women, if they are looking for their mother and father's relationship, which is a traditional relationship, he said the first thing I would tell them is, well, I'm sure your mother was way more submissive, right? Because of the generation she grew up in and the fact that she wasn't the breadwinner of the household. 9 times out of 10 it was the father. So there was a different type of jurisdiction of what was going on in those older times of relationship. That's
Right,
not the
right.
case today. Women are way more powerful mentally than then. Like To themselves. I'm saying to themselves. It doesn't have to be like written in the book. Like she's powerful, like Oprah. A woman don't have to be Oprah. She feels Oprah today. You know,
I mean, to be honest with you, I have different views about that. But one thing that you did say that was important was that when you started out and you were talking about, I put it on the sheet. If we pull out infatuation or sex, a lot of us wouldn't want to be around that person. You're talking about friendship. It's important for us to know that as a single person, like, do you prefer being single to being in a relationship because it's less hectic or stressful?
no, I just believe that titles are I believe titles bring expectation, like expectations. It brings on expectations that I'm just saying a title. If you go from boyfriend to husband, what does that do?
It's supposed to evince the level of commitment.
Commitment is what? It's
Hopefully,
an
it's understanding.
expectation.
Hopefully, it's understanding between two people of where they're at in a relationship. So here's the thing. Most people are talking about what married women should do for a man versus what a girlfriend should do for a boyfriend. All over social media, right? You've seen this, right? Like you
No,
you
but
you
I mean, I've had these conversations for sure.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I'm not a woman, so I have to see on social media because I don't know. Women tell women, look, girl, don't give him husbandly care if he's not your husband. That's all I'm basically saying. So if you've heard that before, I mean, but if it's your first time hearing it, that's what's being said. Girl, don't give him husbandly, vibes and care and take care of him and look out for him and be there for him if he's not your husband. So they're saying stop
You prove
making
my
it,
point.
huh?
You
Go ahead.
prove my point. No, I'm saying with what you just said, you prove the point.
Well, yeah, what I'm, but see, for me personally, what I'm saying is, I gave when I was doing You're a Mess, I broke it down to folks in 4 steps, just like that, right? I said the first step to finding, and you take what you want, grain of salt, but in my You're a Mess days, I told him, I said, look, I load quality. You know what that means, right?
I load.
Yeah. If you get with somebody and your eyes aren't full, that's going to be a terrible relationship because you're always going to because your eyes need to fill all the way up before you're done looking. So don't date somebody and marry somebody below your eye load quality. If your eye load quality is at the top where it's exquisite, you have to level up and get you an exquisite looking bra. Otherwise, you're gonna always be being tempted by exquisite bras. That's all Satan gonna throw at you is exquisite bras. If you deal with a broad that's fair, just okay, whatever looking, but your eye low quality is a bad MFer, man, you better hold out to you. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, it's gonna be difficult. I don't get guys. Oh, she treat, and then we had a debate about who does it more, who settles more, guys or females, right? Who goes below their eye low quality more. But my thing is that's the very first step. Know what your eye low quality is and meet somebody like that. Okay. The second step is reconstruction, right? No, 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 no. The second step is knowing when you're going to ask that question before the big question, which is where is this going? So don't be dating for indeterminate amounts of time, Lava, with any chick that you choose to date. Know when your cutoff moment is to where you now are going to say, hey, where is this going? If you don't have that in your mind, you probably will, like you just said, made your point. You probably will be that kind of female that treats a guy like a husband before you should, or a guy give her that wifely. I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna provide everything for you before she's your wife. You know what I'm saying? So know when you're gonna activate that, right? Whether it be 6 months, a year and a half. When are you gonna ask that question before the big question, which is where is this going? If y'all agree that y'all both want to pursue something deeper, now it's the reconstruction phase.
Some
Whether you
deeper
have
than what?
deeper than just seeing each other, whether you live together or not. Deeper than just seeing each other. Go ahead.
Like, and that's what I mean by, and that's what I mean. So when I say what I say it to say that titles are merely exactly what they are. And if people could grasp the concept of titles, picture it this way: on a basketball court, titles are to a point guard, a shooting guard, small forward, forward, center. Those five positions don't exist to people like LeBron James, do they? Since he plays them all when he's on the court. He don't have to stop during the play and say, "Hey, I'm the point guard now." So he don't need a title, is what I'm saying. When you're truly in the essence of something, you don't need to talk about it. The only reason I would have to tell a woman, "Hey, you're my wife," is because other people need to know, right? If I'm treating a woman just like she wants to be treated, everything like we're together, we have fun, we do everything, why do I have to call her my wife? Who am
So
I trying to impress? Am I trying to impress
so
somebody outside?
so here's the deal. The deal is this, Lava. I mean, in case you didn't know, in America, in United States of America, marriage is a legally binding contract. So boys and girls play house without titles. Real adults get married because financially, as far as like how the structure of the children are, the state won't recognize you as the father. Go out there. I don't care if you're in Houston or if you're in
Wow.
Pocahontas, Georgia. If you have a child with a woman and you're not married to her legally, the state does not recognize you as the father. You have to go and file. I don't care how long you've
Why
been
would I
living with her.
care? Why would I care? Why would I take care of a little girl right now? And that's not mine. I don't care what the state thinks at all. And there
No, no,
there
no, no, no,
hasn't
no,
been a
no. I mean, that's look, that's all that's beautiful. But what I'm saying is so if and when you choose to have your own child, if you are not legally married to that woman, the state does not recognize you as a natural parent. You have to file for your parental rights.
for
That's all
what?
I'm, huh?
For what?
Okay, so God forbid, I mean, you don't have a crystal ball, neither do I. God forbid that y'all break up. You know what I'm saying? And then and now instead of the divorce court situation where you're already Mr. The dad, whatever, what now you have to go to the courthouse, file not just for custody rights, but for visitation rights. So what I'm
That's
saying
that
is
I think where we're going is that the person that you're with ain't your friend, right? The person that you're with that's about to take you to court isn't your friend, right? So that's where this is the essence of it. If you're with your friend and y'all have a child and this is your friend, then they understand where you stand when it comes to this child. So if 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 you're entertaining this person in a positive way as a friend, courts are a negative thing, brother. Courts, if you need courts, then that means that you can't communicate with your significant other because you need a judge to play intercessor, right? Because that's what a judge is. And I just came from a judge's. I had a judge. His son was my best friend. I just left his wife a few days ago, and what I'm saying is that with that judge being intercessor, that has nothing to do with true love. Nothing. A paperwork has nothing to do with true love. But like you say, in the United States of America, for them to register you as a married couple, my mom and my father are registered as married, and they've been married over 20 years, but they aren't extremely happy. So who cares what the courts say? What there's kids see in every day, though the courts say they're married, what we see is untogetherness. They're not together. They're not extremely happy. So who cares about the paperwork? The kids don't. So there's a fabrication in America of what marriage is. Do you know right now, today, marriages don't pass 5 years? 6 years tops. We're talking about 80%. And it's because of the fabrication that these women think that they can uphold what women of old have done with the mannerisms that they present to us. You see, men haven't taken that much of a humongous fall as women have taken a humongous climb. If that makes sense. Women have taken a humongous climb. So they're meeting us somewhere and we're not willing to stoop. Most men aren't willing to stoop that low. They still want their food cooked. And a lot of women ain't thinking cooking food. A lot of women, you know what I'm saying? Just some of the essentials that kept marriages going. People aren't willing to do that today. So what I'm saying is, if you take away the title, how do you feel about that person? Has nothing to do with the title of marriage. My mama will tell you to her face she don't like stuff that he does. So whether they're married or not doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So let's scale back a little bit on the passion of the topic, and let's try to get a broader view, a 30,000-foot view of it, right?
It's saying 70% of divorces are initiated by women.
Yeah, that's my cousin from Pittsburgh.
Hey, I'm just saying, like, I know that these are these are facts. Like, people ain't
so he also pointed out when I was going in on the brothers, and I was giving the females game. I had told everybody that women I told everybody that, like, we believe that we're sleeping with the enemy, and that kind of is like what you're talking about now. Like, if you see women as the enemy, you don't want to get into a legal contract with them at all because it's binding. But
no, there's a difference. I believe that the point that you're trying to make is just like someone trying to tell you about the justice system, right? The justice system is rigged, bro. I've been there. Yeah, I've been locked up over 14 years, bro. Flat, not different times, 14 flat. So when someone tells me about the judicial system, they can't tell me, because I know it's a corrupt design. So marriage, when someone talks of marriage today, they're talking about a whole bunch of expectations that they're going to put forward. And if you don't meet them, there's unhappiness there. But if we're friends right now you're going to put these things in front of me. A contract. You're talking contract, right? So say, because in Jamaica, they marry different. In Jamaica, they say, hey, these are my rules. This is what I want you to do Monday through Friday. And the male and the female signs that contract. In America, they say vows. And they talk. And they say, hey, I love you to death do your part. And everybody just about says the same storyline. Right? And they all walk down the aisle. And they all share a ring. You know what I'm saying? What the point is that with that ceremony, it don't mean you're going to be faithful. It doesn't mean that you're going to be, you ain't going to whoop your kids till your wife leave you. None of that matters. That whole throwing rice, all that stuff, is just a ceremony. So when people get it through their head that marriage, the ceremony, the words, all of those things basically mean nothing. Think about how someone treats you 24/7. That's your husband. It don't matter what he say. But if you're with a person and they're your everything and they're doing everything, you can put whatever title you want to. Call him your brother. It don't matter. I don't care if he's your husband or your brother. If you with him every day and he treats you well.
Yeah. So everybody on the show has a voice. We're not debating how you feel about it. We heard you. What I do as the moderator is I bring in, like I said,
the state is a piece of paper, right?
What I'm saying is what I to even it out. You heard, we didn't hear much how I feel because you keep stopping me, but that's all right though. You know,
no, go ahead.
So no, I mean, I'm saying, but I don't want it to seem combative. I don't attack people for their big opinions on my show. What I'm saying is I'm just going to bring in the screen share so we can look at and present information as subjective, right? I'll just go to like and you can shoot me one, email me one, and I'll put it up for you too if you have something to contradict or something that goes what you're saying. So no thanks. All right. It says so this is not an attack against Lava. He's one man. This is his ideals, and I'm glad he's saying them because maybe more men feel like him, ladies. This is what you have to contend with sometimes when you meet a man. Me personally, my opinion is that marriage is a common uh, righteous good for the community. Having a serious commitment, if they do what they're going to do after they get married, fine. But the ideal of it is to have a serious commitment where the man and woman say, we're going to build. I'm fine with the friendship thing, but legally, the friendship doesn't bind the man and the woman together or have a strong enough commitment to where, okay, the state should recognize these children in the home as both of theirs. All right. So this right here, though, provision is what the man's supposed to do, even though a lot of women are making money. I still believe that women are choosing men based on provision, whether he could meet me halfway or he could take fully care of me. I still think that's a big decision. And you can hear it in Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi. You can hear it, all these females, city girls, they're all saying that at the end of the day, it comes down to what he can provide, lifestyle I want. It says
But
single women are losing.
go ahead.
It says single women are losing in today's economy, right? Um, and so the analysis sometimes it feels like everyone's pushing women to get married, even the U.S. government. Okay, moving right along. While more millennials are postponing or foregoing marriage, the economy hasn't caught up. Single people pay more for housing, social life, and taxes, and they get paid less, right? So it's just I'm just putting out there just what it looks like over there, right? It says that the Institute of Family Studies found that a record 35% of U.S. age 25 to 50 had never been married as of 2018, right? So that was 9% in the 70s when I was born, right? So it's a nice article. You guys can look it over, but I'm just saying, if you want to present information that we can continue to talk about this on. I was getting a little bit late, but we can discuss this more. I think it's a hot topic. I think to be or not to be husband and wife, I think that's a big deal because I think that us as African men, we should definitely be hot to try to uplift and make super serious commitments to our women and take vows and build things with them and bless them for their whole lives, like ride with them all the way out, ride for the kids. For all, I think we should definitely do that. But it's definitely a hot topic. It should be discussed more. So I would just say, shoot me some articles that support women believing that they should just be friends with a man, not ask him to marry them. Just let's have a true friendship, have kids, whatever the case may be, and go all out. You know what I'm saying? That's whatever. Me personally, in this country, because of the way the system is set up, and I'm gonna say me personally, since I've been married before, being married elevated me. And this was a predominantly European community. When I come in, when I would go somewhere, say the dentist office, or we would go to a function or event, being talked to as Mr. and Mrs. So and so, that was a huge difference for me than going somewhere with one of my baby mamas or with a girlfriend. Huge difference. There was nothing like it. So this country elevates married couples as it should. So definitely, I respect your opinion about it. I would love to talk about this more, bring some more panelists on there, just hear from some more different points of views. And definitely, I don't want you to change your mind. I just want you to know that since you're single and you said you're being single, that women may come at you and they might just expect a more serious commitment, even though you have a very flashy and convincing commentary and position and viewpoint of why marriage may or may not be necessary. My cousin Byron, he over here blowing the thing up. I don't know if you can see the comment section. He over here going crazy as he does, as he should on the comment section. He keeps the comment section popping.
I see him rolling, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's out there in Pittsburgh. I mean, I don't know what the weather's like out there right now. We
Oh, it's
shut
probably
down here,
snowing.
but it's definitely a good thing. So so Houston's on the map. I'm down in infrequently. I want to do a motivational speaking event down there. That's why I said we need more motivators. So I want to tap in with your church, with your movement. I want to get you guys as your business on here. Like I said, I'm always looking for new sponsors for the show to do big things with. But I think that this is a really great topic. I'm glad you joined us tonight. I look forward to seeing you on here more. Anything that you shoot
Yeah,
me, I'll definitely put it up there. Go ahead. Go ahead.
for sure. I was just saying, appreciate it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a great topic, like you say, it's going around. It's pretty much, I like to say, I hear about it, though I don't follow it on social media. But like me and people, we have conversation, and I'm like a intercessor. Actually, the people who I'm around, my friend, I'm a best man in 2 weddings coming up. So yeah, I'm a best man at 2 of my friends' wedding this year in 1 year. So definitely I understand.
Congratulations to them, man. It's look, it's good that I mean, I just think that for us to have unity of thought and unity of purpose, we'll have unity in the community. If we all have different points of views about what makes a community whole and strong, we're never going to have a whole strong community. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to do historic things like conglomerate all the African businesses so that we have our own financial ecosystem separate from the European power structure, to build our own society, the Citizens Justice League, so they're no longer able to police us. We have our own sovereign nation right here, as we should, so that we can begin to defend ourselves against slave tactic, clan tactic, culturally biased police, just all this stuff, the mass incarceration, which is the new slavery.
You
We cannot defend ourselves until we build and have our own.
you
That's the bottom line. It's never going to happen. So personally, just saying that this is a hot topic because we as men, as the leaders in our community, we should be spitting the same thing to our women and raising our children under the same belief, because they're going to be the ones now mingling and having to get it done. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to come to a harmony of thought about these issues, because they're just important to building strong communities. That's what we need. We deserve. It's been enough trauma and enough hate. We need peaceful, honest, righteous communities doing it the right way. So that's what I'm all about. Lava Rahim, everybody, man. We appreciate you. You
appreciate it.
definitely
Peace and blessings, my man.
get it popping, man. So I podcast every night at 9:30. I'm moving the topics around now more wider than just relationship topics. It was just important to get that out there. If we do get interest, inboxes about interest for you, we'll let you know, and we'll have like a little matchmaking deal. If anybody out there is going through some relationship, Shay and I, we are doing counseling. My man Don Rico, he's a great relationship counselor himself. He proved that already. We have resources for you. My man Digital Behe over there, he's still popping. I just can't keep his stuff coming up here fast enough. You know what I mean? Like, let's go.
I think but he definitely he gets exactly what I'm saying. He posted that he said this is a man that's basing the relationship off of like it's more about loyalty and that than a piece of paper. And that's all I'm basically only saying that in the United States it's hogwash. I'm not saying that marriage doesn't work, the bond and the understanding between two people. What I'm saying is my mother and my father went down to the state to get a piece of paper while the kids stayed at home. Me, my brother, and my sister were not at the ceremony. We had nothing to do with the traditional. It was only for them to get the piece of paper so the people of the state could recognize them, like you're saying. And today they're not happy. So it proved to who that you love each other, not to each other, because you don't treat each other the same as if you were married. You were better when you were friends. That's what I'm saying. That's what I see.
I think for me, the final word is when you take vows to be with somebody till death do you part. It's a journey, and my mindset is that y'all gonna build something, right? And so when I'm 80 years old, God give me them years. When I'm 80 years old, it's not so much about the sex now. It's about what we've accomplished, what we built with each other. That's what our happiness derives from, the memories that we share, right? So,
Correct.
so my thing is, if along the way people stop building or lose sight of what they were building and stuff like that, that has nothing to do, or there's no knock at all on them making that serious commitment to each other to at least try. And so for me, it's like, if I go out there and try to start a movement to do something positive, like this podcast right here, just because it gets tough along the way doesn't mean that me trying to start this positive movement was a bad thing. So I'm saying, like I told, told my cousin, Spencer, start you a platform, get something going, get your story out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, try. Don't not do it because podcasts don't work. Oh, cuz you've been podcasting, this is your second year, you still only get like 50 views per podcast. You know what I'm saying? Who knows when it's going to blow up big? Who knows if it's ever going to blow up big? But I know I'm moving the needle. If we all had a positive platform podcast,
Well,
I'll
all you
hop
have
on
to do
your
is
stuff. I'll hop on their stuff. Go ahead.
well, that's what I mean by, like, in today's society, like, for people to, like me, that's how I am. Like, I don't care how many followers I got on Instagram. Like, I got people with 400. I just unfollowed a girl that had 400 and some thousand followers on Instagram, and she cried and was like, "Why?" And I was like, "It's because me and you don't communicate. We don't." So the fabrication of you being a follower of mine, right? It didn't mean anything to me on that screen that you had 400 and some followers when you don't follow me. It says you follow me, but I never see you in my likes, right? So I don't care about titles and things. Like, I don't care. Like, my homegirl and them that I mess with, like, my homegirl, she from the Caribbean island. She understands, after being in a relationship, after being, with several people, that what I'm saying is true. That if someone treats you truly well, and you have together become friends, and y'all talk on a day-to-day basis, and y'all are cool, and y'all live together, whatever, once you get that bond with somebody, all I'm saying is, over time, you'll grow and you'll know that bond is tight. No, everybody will see that bond is tight if you just keep your mouth closed and you do everything that you know you're supposed to do. If you love that person, nobody else matters.
Man, Lava Raheem, everybody. Give your
No
shout
doubt.
outs, man. Let's get up out of here. Give your shout outs. Let's get up out of here.
Hey, man, shout out to my boy Digital B. He was in the building. Shout out to my boy Taibu. How you say it?
Nah, you got it right. That's
Oh,
awesome.
I
Taibu
like.
Muad'Dib.
Oh, I thought I like to say Talib because that's one of the names. I like Talib. That's actually one of the names of one of my friends. Talib,
Oh, okay.
Taibu. Yeah. That's a live name though. That what is it
Yeah.
derived from?
Taibu is
What is your name
Swahili.
derived from?
It's a
Swahili.
Swahili word,
Okay.
and I mean the short story is that my dad, I'm the first son, and so my dad, he did this African boot dance thing back in the '60s back in Pittsburgh, and the African chieftain named him Taibu. So I was
Okay.
always called Taibu. You know what I'm saying? So me making that officially on paper my name wasn't a big deal. You know what I'm saying? I was already known. I was already called Taibu my whole entire. I didn't even know my name. I had a different name until like the fourth grade. You know what I'm saying? On paper,
Wow.
on paper, my name was like John Franklin Wright Jr. You know, that never sat well with me as a conscious African man. When I became conscious, I couldn't I couldn't feel comfortable carrying this slave master's tag. You know, it just didn't make any sense why I could just go into the courthouse and have it changed legally. You know what I'm saying? And now I can be who I am. I can pass that down. Generational, you know what I'm saying, cultural beauty instead of like, the last slave owning family that owned us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
nah, that's not what's gonna happen. So I encourage everybody to do the same thing. If you are African and your last name is Williams or Jones or Black or I mean, it doesn't make any sense if that's not befitting your indigenous. And then the funny thing is, we predate Europeans as a people, so it's really weird to me that like I could see them. I could see them keeping our last names. You know what I'm saying? Because we predate them, but they're like imposters of language. You know what I'm saying? English is like the basis of all like languages on the face of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're like an animal making sounds, like English, like Latin is more difficult to speak. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff, Greek, all that stuff derived from European hieroglyphics. We were the first people to write and keep stories on written words. So it's like everything they got from us. So I don't get why people hold on to it. I'm a Jackson. I'm a Blue. What? I
Yeah.
lost the guy. Look, I lost a young guy on the show one time. My cousin tell you it was my young guy D Flan. He said he's Black Irish. I said, you do know we predate the Irish people, don't you? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so like they should be holding on to our last name, not the other way around. It was weird. So but me and him kind of we chopped it up. We cool again. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
we had fell out on one show because I was shocked. I was just like, young man, didn't anybody ever tell you that we came before them? So
Yeah.
they could be Irish African, but you can't be Black Irish. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
I mean, he young man didn't know the original history. That's okay. That's what the podcast is here for. So I'm just saying, like me personally, when I became conscious, I'm like, when they call us lazy, Lava, they have something. They own us something because it costs nothing to go and get your name back. When these Europeans have to say can I call you Ty? Can I call you T? No, we don't breathe their ethnic names because they have a meaning. Oh no, I didn't mean anything by it. I know you did. That's all right though. We're gonna get my name right. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I go through because when we came to these shores, they stopped us from speaking it. Every time they say my name, is speaking Swahili. It's a beautiful thing, Rob. I'm telling you right now. Get on that train. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh no, that's why. Oh no, I use Amir. I use Amir as my name. That's why I use Lava. I use Amir. I use the name that I adapted to, and they got meaning to them. Like Amir Tariq means actually it's Arabic. It's a Arabic name, so it means commander. Amir means commander, and Tariq means like it's a boom, like Amir Tariq together means like the collar of the boom. You know what I mean?
That's
So it's
that's
basically
awesome. That's
so it's
awesome.
commander of like noise boom. So it goes into my rap with Lava and stuff. It's all
Oh
my
yeah.
names.
And we definitely got to hear some of this Lava Raheem music. You see how I bring the show in. I was off tonight because I was running around. I gotta practice that rhyme is so high. I gotta practice like 2 or 3 times before I go live with that thing. I'm gonna get it down. I'm gonna record that. But I mean, look, I'm telling you right now, the podcast music, I'm gonna be like 50 with it. I'm gonna have my own little album to go. All my little podcasts are gonna be hot. Appreciate you though, man. Rock with us anytime. Like, post, share. Please subscribe to the YouTube page. It's Taibu Muad'Dib. Click it, man. Let it ride. Let everybody know this is where you can come on and live your truth. And that's the show. You can stay